It's just taking a few seconds.
Okay.
Are you doing it from there, are you?
Yeah.
Oh. Walk out there, no?
Just say it's standing by, just keep your
Do catch that one, is it?
Okay. If we go to agenda item number 6, number 1, draft statement of gambling policy.
Still
Okay.
saying standby at the moment, so starting soon.
Exists, it's just changed.
It's okay, Chair.
Okay. We'll proceed. Item number 6.1 on the agenda. To consider the updated policy statement and comment accordingly. And just thank you for the office for highlighting the changes in yellow. And to proceed.
Okay. It's come that time again where we have to go through the gambling policy. Every 3 years we need to sort of review it and sort of refresh it if there's any legal changes that may affect the policy itself. So this is why the report is here today. It's the start of the consultation period. It was originally approved at full council on the 22nd of November 2012, and it needs to actually be in place by the 31st of January 2016, which seems a long way off, but it isn't in timescales of consultation and then coming back and forth to the committee dates as well. So on item 3.6 of the report, you will see the actual timescales of getting this consultation out on the policy itself. So it's been brought here today so you can have a look at the policy beforehand before it actually, part of it's gone out consultation anyway. I haven't sent it to all members and town and community councils yet because I thought it'd be pertinent to bring it here first before I actually sort of do that element of the consultation. So that's where we are today on it. I'm not sure if there's any questions you want to actually ask. So it was actually done as well through the Gwent Licensing Forum. The actual policy itself hasn't changed that much. We've added a few elements in, and that's through guidance from the Gambling Commission Direct, and those are highlighted in yellow. And we put a table, we felt a put a table of the type of machines, where they should be placed, and the betting sort of elements of it as well. So that's the changes on the policy itself. So it has been highlighted in yellow, the changes to the previous one.
Members like to comment or?
I'd like to say thank you to Linda for highlighting the changes. That's really helpful. Thank you.
Chair, 1.12, Sustainable Development Community Strategy. Is this overtaken by the Wellbeing Act now?
No, I think the two things are hand in hand, Councillor. No, you've got the well-being stuff, but this is separate. Yeah.
Question that I wanted to ask was on page 22. The council's principle that it will guide the Gambling Commission in local regulators code and the council's enforcement policy. And that I just wanted to know how frequently that enforcement policy is updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. We did do some work on it a few years back. So it talks about consistency, transparency, proportionality. So it's probably been a few years, Chair, so we can have another look at it. But be assured, planning, environmental health, licensing will look to that singular enforcement policy the council hold. And there is an enforcement concordat, which comes centrally to us. Obviously, we need to comply with that enforcement concordat as well. So we look at it every few years.
Chair, I see no problem with this. I mean, it's been through the various committees. It's appropriate. The officers have been very diligent in pointing out the changes. I can see nothing wrong with that, and I will propose we accept them.
Okay, can we all take a vote then, if there's no further questions? Okay, thank you for that.
6.2, it goes alongside basically the gambling policy, because both have to go to full council for the final approval. It's get your viewpoints on it, because what will happen is this proposal for casinos, whether we don't want it in the county of Monmouthshire, and as the report says, there's only a few that you can actually have anyway, and we wouldn't be able to get one at present, but if somebody dropped out, you could get one in the future, so you still have to make that decision whether or not you want a casino in your area or not. When that goes to full council, if it is then suggested that we don't want the casino, then that will be written into the policy that has been adopted also, not to have casinos in Monmouthshire. So that's the reason why the report is separate to the policy, because the one will be decided on and then it'll be inserted into the gambling policy itself.
Yeah, this policy is due to come up now. I remember it coming back 3 years ago. Members' views about casinos in this area. Do we want to leave it as status quo, or do we want to make further recommendations for full council?
Can I just endorse the previous recommendations that the existing status quo remains?
Dave Evans?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want clarification. If somebody wanted to put an event on within Monmouthshire, and I'm going to say Caldicot, of this nature, how would we, as members, be, because it would be on Monmouthshire County Council property?
Is setting up a casino,
Yes,
Dave, specifically,
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah,
rules
but
and
I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
coming into the area, but I'm saying there's people going to come in with this facility. You know, are we going to give them a temporary license, or are they got to apply for a temporary license?
For a casino, you can't apply for a temporary license as such. You would have to get the operator's license from the Gambling Commission initially anyway, and the report highlights of the number of large and small casinos that's allocated throughout the UK. They're all taken up at present, so it wouldn't be clear cut they would get it that way. If you're regarding other forms of betting, you would have off-course betting people, you know, if they have like sort of like a mock casino day as such, not a building with a casino in itself. Okay, so there are ways of, like say you have an off-course, sort of like, you know, if it's like a fun day as such, but it's not really a casino, you could do that. Okay.
I just add to that, Chair, to what Linda said. Under 3.7, Councillor Evans, there are specific types of casino, and we're talking big style, you know, Las Vegas, the large casinos. So it'll be the Blackpool's, Manchester will have a whacking great casino, the Croups, Cardiff. So those are what we're talking about this. In terms of the other stuff, that's gaming, which is a different requirement. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What are you planning,
And just to add, Chair, is obviously, you know, someone has every right to apply for a casino. They could roll up. That'd go to planning, but it's helpful, obviously, that the MCC have this written down in terms of the licensing committee that goes to full council, actually are minded not to approve any casinos in Monmouthshire. I think probably for the reasons of social deprivation, etc. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
If you're happy, you clarification. If there's no further questions, we've got a proposal that we remain status quo and we take the recommendation that endorse the current policy subject to consideration and assessment statement on casinos prior to being consulted to full council.
I just add, Chair, that obviously in austere times we want money from wherever we can get it. And so I go along with status quo as per the full council recommendation. But ongoing years, if somebody was to propose something where there was a big remuneration in a very deprived area, I think we'd have to take consideration of it, and full council would have to review it again. You need 3 years to plan it anyway. But I think, you know, this time round I say status quo. But I think if there are any avenues where we can generate money to help the community, we'd have to look at that. I mean, we may decide not to, but I think we'd have to look at it, in my eyes. But I agree with status quo for now.
Just to clarify as well, even though the policy itself is 3 years, it can be reviewed at the interim stage. Yeah. So.
Okay. We got a proposer and seconder. Dave propose, second. Okay. All show of hands. Okay. Thank you. That's carried then. Item agenda 11. To note the date for the next licensing committee, full committee on the 21st of July at 10 o'clock. But we've obviously got a hearing on the 25th, or proposed 2 hearings on the 25th at 10 o'clock here.
Chair, this case we've had in front of us this morning, and we've asked for further evidence. If we don't get that evidence by the 25th, I would like to propose that we carry on with the case.
Okay, thank you. Just for members, with the second case in view